Jonathan Davenport was a happy camper after he won the first night of the Peach State Classic, the Peach Bowl, and he made it very clear that he thought he got away with one, saying, "We got really lucky there." Roll this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. So on paper, it looked like Davenport had a perfect night. He was the fastest overall qualifier with a time of 13.478. He went on to win his heat race over Tyler Brandon Shepard and Garrett Alberson. He then led all 50 laps and took home the checkered flag. However, just after halfway, Tyler Millwood attempted to squeeze Zach Mitchell and came down a little too far and ended up spinning off Mitchell's nose right in front of Davenport. Davenport attempted to follow Mitchell up the track to avoid Millwood, but Millwood closed off his path as he kind of spun up the track, and Davenport was forced to turn his car to avoid damage to his nose, and he slapped his door into Millwood's door. The Flow Racing Night in America series would rule that Davenport was not involved in the caution, but spun to avoid the caution and was given his first place spot back. We can take a look here over on X, courtesy of Flow Racing. Here is the replay.
We've had some. Oh, and Zach Mitchell gets into Tyler Millwood right in front of the leader, and Davenport's involved. No. Wow. Man, Zach Mitchell and Tyler Millwood.
So let's take another look at that real quick.
Laps to go. And I will say this too. We've had.
So you can see Millwood kind of comes down, tries to squeeze Mitchell. Mitchell's there. They make contact. Millwood goes spinning. Mitchell goes up the track.
Oh, and Zach Mitchell gets into Tyler Millwood right in front of the leader, and Davenport's involved. No. Wow.
You can see JD was on the brakes, obviously extraordinarily slick track there, tries to avoid him, has nothing else to do but to kind of spin the car and protect the nose and make contact with the door. And so obviously there was plenty of speculation that it possibly would have been that Davenport would have to go to the rear given the fact that he was involved in the wreck. However, as I said, the Flow Racing Night in America series ruled that Davenport was not involved in the caution, but spun to avoid the caution and was given his first place position back. So just to be clear, the Flow Racing Night in America series rules state this: all cars that are indirectly involved in the accident, spinning or stopping to avoid the wreck without contact made, will be given their position back. So obviously Davenport did indeed spin or stop to avoid contact, but he clearly made contact with Tyler Millwood. So my thinking is that he should have been sent to the rear, given the fact that he actually did indeed make contact with Millwood. Because again, reading the rule here, it says all cars that are indirectly involved in the accident, which I think Davenport was, I think we can attest to that, spinning or stopping to avoid the wreck without contact made, will be given their position back. But he made contact. He slapped doors with Millwood. So I think he should have been sent to the rear. And Davenport thought he should have been sent to the rear too, because this is what he said in Victory Lane. "We got really lucky there. I saw the crash happening, but this place is so slick, like there's nowhere I could go. I thought he was going to hold the brakes and I could get by the top, but then he closed that hole up, and so then all I could do was try not to hit right with the nose, but hit him with the side. Fortunately, I didn't get put to the back there. Obviously, I don't know all the rules, but it worked in our favor there." So I think he clearly thought he was going to get put to the rear, and I think looking at the Flow Racing Night in America series rules, which here's the link, we can go and look at the rules here, and we can see the cautions, and it clearly says that's caution on first lap. So we want to go caution procedures after first lap. In the event of a caution, the car or cars involved in the incident that comes to a stop on the racetrack will be sent to the rear. If a car spins or creates a caution and you make contact and stop, you are also part of the caution. If a car spins or creates a caution and you make contact and stop, you are also part of the caution. That clearly defines Jonathan Davenport in this situation, right? He spun, made contact with Tyler Millwood. All cars that are indirectly involved in the accident, spinning or stopping to avoid the wreck without contact made, will be given their position back. But he made contact. He was part of the caution, and he should have been sent to the rear of the field based on the Flow Racing Night in America series rules. I mean, it's really, I think, very clear right here what it says. So I think they messed up there. I think they made a mistake. But that wasn't the only mistake I think they made. Davenport would go on to acknowledge that the series was kind of consistent in its rulings. It made the mistake with Davenport, so it was going to make a mistake with Bobby Pierce too, right? But they were consistent, at least. They were consistent. Because Pierce collided with Kyle Bronson with less than 10 to go, but he was also able to retain his position given he kept his tires and wheels turning. This is what Davenport said about that. He says, I guess Pierce kind of got in trouble there also, so it worked out in his favor also, so we both got lucky there. We can take a look at what happened here.
It's just that a lot of movers and shakers in this one. Goes around. Kyle Bronson, Bobby Pierce get together, and man.
So we can take another look at this real quick.
He's in the top 10 now. It's just that a lot of movers and shakers in this one. Goes around. Kyle Bronson, Bobby Pierce get together, and man, Bobby Pierce tried his best to keep the wheels moving. I don't know that they stopped.
So that is what happened there. I know obviously people are going to have opinions on this. I've seen some already. I don't think anyone is really to blame here. I think this is just a racing deal. Bobby was in a really good race with Hudson O'Neal right there. He was actually just kind of got passed by Hudson, and I think he was trying to cross him over and was trying to dime in the corner there. And Bronson happened to be kind of running through the middle, running a little bit of a slider line there, and they kind of were going to the same point in the track, and they made contact, and they spun out. And obviously, the caution was thrown. Pierce obviously did a really good job of making it look like his car didn't come to a stop when he put it in reverse there and was able to kind of maybe keep his tires moving for the most part. I do think that his tires did stop turning when he put it in reverse, or right before he put it in reverse, and then was able to get it going. He did it really, really fast. He did it really good, but I do think they did stop there. But anyways, I still think that he should have at least lost some positions there when they didn't take any positions there. Again, we read the rules. In the event of a caution, the cars involved in the incident that comes to a stop on the racetrack will be sent to the rear. If a car spins or creates a caution and you make contact and stop, you are also part of the caution. So obviously, I think he did stop. I think he stopped for maybe a split second, but I do think he did stop right before he put the car in reverse. So I think he should have been sent to the rear there. But if you want to look at the blend rule says in the event of an inadvertent caution caused when a driver appears to slow or spin and is able to keep going without stopping, the driver would be blended into the field where they rejoined at the time of the caution flag. So this is saying in the event of an inadvertent caution caused when a driver appears to slow or spin. Well, they made contact with each other and caused an accident. So I think Bobby was the reason for the caution, and he should have been sent to the rear as well. But again, they gave him his spot back and was consistent with Jonathan Davenport. But I think they got it wrong in both cases right here. I think both Davenport and Pierce should have been sent to the rear based on what their rules say. That's what their rule book says. I think it's pretty clear. But obviously, Davenport is going to relish the win, and he knows. I think he knows he got away with one. He says, we got really lucky there. Fortunately, I didn't get put to the back there. Obviously, I don't know all the rules, but it worked in our favor there. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that Davenport should have been sent to the rear? Do you agree with me? Do you have a totally different take? Do you disagree? What do you make of what happened with Bobby Pierce there as well? And who do you think was to blame there with Pierce and Bronson? Do you agree or disagree with me there on that? Again, let me know in the comments below.